Tonight's RPM is a 40-minute special on the 21st Donegal International Rally, a titanic battle between Ireland's rallying giants over the classic stages in the northwest for round 3 of the Donegal Tarmac Rally Championship. We move into new territory for day 1 of the shell-unleaded Donegal International Rally, the beautiful Inishowen Peninsula. It will be a high-speed opener with 6 stages on the scenic Inishowen 100 route, the most northerly part of Ireland. But first, the traditional send-off from the Mount Erigal Hotel in Letterkenny, where the Emerald Band, dressed in blue as always, are playing McNamara's band. Kenny McKinstry and Robbie Philpott are number 1 in the caliber Subaru, and the reigning Dunlop Tarmac champions will open the action.
1990 Tarmac champion.
Hanika Michelle waves off the similar Tough Mac Subaru with Bertie Fisher and Rory Kennedy aboard. Behind the Subaru Summit is the Tom Hogan Tipperary Crystal Toyota GT4, driven by Austin McHale and Dermot O'Gorman. Then the 1991 winners, James Cullen and Ellen Morgan, who have the 4 Lanterns Tony Kelly Cars 4-wheel drive Cosworth for the defence of the Donegal crown. This is James' first taste of 4-wheel drive, and the RED prepared car should have the speed to match the Japanese supercars. John Price is at number 5, and the championship leader Frank Maher at number 6. This pair are still riding high in their Duckham's 2-wheel drive Cosworth after their Circuit of Ireland victory. Number 7 is Andrew Nesbitt and Brian Murphy in the Philip White Tyres Metro. And Alistair McRae is the top Group N seed in the Shell Scholarship car. Then it's Stephen Emerson, who is one of those aging Manta 400s, Liam McCarthy in the Metro 6R4, James McDade, another local driver, in his BMW, and Ken Colbert, who lines up before the run-out to Inishowen.
Stage 1 starts at Muff and runs right across Scalp Mountain to Buncrana. The Friday stages are frighteningly fast. Some say too fast. We join the action in the twisty bits shortly after the start in Muff.
Crest 80, 5 left and turn.
We're now in the caliber Subaru with Robbie Philpott on the notes. Although there are 28 stages ahead, McKinstry is determined to set a blistering pace from the word go.
40.
There's a lot at stake for the Banbridge driver. His Circuit of Ireland retirement was a bitter pill to swallow. He wants to keep his current dominant role in Irish rallying. He's 9 seconds quicker than anyone on the first stage. Bertie Fisher has done more preparation than anyone for this event. A test programme that has brought him to 4 national rallies to test different components, 3 of which he has won. He may be initially slower than McKinstry, but both are setting a blistering pace. The slower Subaru is still 6 seconds faster than Austin McHale. Austin is really trying in the Toyota and has a close one here. For James Cullen and Ellen Morgan in the 4 Lanterns Cosworth, it's a steep learning curve in the new car. But it's an indication of the Letterkenny man's talent that he equals McHale's time on the first stage. Frank Maher sets 5th fastest time. Can't imagine a 2-wheel drive Cosworth going any faster. Andrew Nesbitt is the fastest of the Metros, just 2 seconds quicker than John Price. David Greer in the Champion Crisps Cosworth has been delayed at the start as he wasn't wearing his driving gloves. Alistair McRae had a spin, but he's still the fastest Group N runner. The whistle is for Stephen Emerson. A forestry rally expert who's bringing a lot of that sideways technique to the tarmac. Liam McCarthy hasn't done a recce, as these pictures from Gerard McLaren show. Further down the stage, James McDade catches the Metro, which isn't quite sure where it should go next. But he's got minor problems compared to Kenny Colbert. Gerard McCarran's camera catches the Dungannon driver's difficulty. George Robinson passes, but the Metro is well and truly stuck. Bob Fiden is next through. At last, Kenny's clear. There's virtually no damage to the 6R4, and almost 2 minutes have been lost on the very first stage. Garth McCartney is another to get caught and captured by Gerard's camera. But that hereditary McCartney skill, he's Desi's son, saves the day.
On stage 2, part of which is the main road between Buncrana and Carndona, things get really fast. We are sitting for minutes at a time on the rev limiter. That means 120 miles an hour plus.
4 left. Repeat, 4 left. 60. 1 left, 63 right, 80. Right and long crest, 100 or 500. Sorry, no. Crest, 80. Turn 6 left.
The 90-degree left-hander ahead is a moment's respite. But then it's back to the quick stuff, and now on a narrow, bumpy bog road.
100. 1 right, 100.
The top crews have serious worries about running their engines at such speeds for so long. But the pace is so hot at the front that they can't afford to ease and let a rival pull away.
Into 1 left over jump, into 2 right, 100. Bumpy into jump, 60. 4 left. Repeat, 4 left.
Bertie Fisher is now pulling back time. He is 7 seconds quicker than McKinstry on this stage. Austin McHale has edged 2 seconds ahead of James Cullen. And James is having a high-speed lesson on how to adapt to four-wheel drive. Here's another impressive learning curve, Andrew Nesbitt. He's in 6th position. And George Robinson can always be expected to entertain.
By the end of the first loop of stages, McKinstry's early advantage is evaporating. Bertie Fisher has now closed his lead down to 1 second. Nearly gets this second junction wrong. But Frank Maher is the quickest of all on this fast stage, helped by a high diff. But not this overshoot. He's now 4th. Austin McHale is ahead of him in 3rd place. James Cullen in the Four Lanterns car, 5th. Andrew Nesbitt leads the Metro Brigade by 10 seconds. With John Price next in 7th place. Alistair McRae leads Group N from Garth McCartney's 2-wheel drive Cosworth. Gabriel Snow's similar car, as you can see, is really trying. This, incidentally, is Kieran McAnallen, Mr. Toughmac, the sponsor of Bertie Fisher's car. Dave Crockett seems somewhat lost. He's only yards from the end of the stage and some help from his service crew, and he manages to freewheel to the end as class rival Tommy MacDonald goes through. That's Hugh Steele, another member of the McRae clan. He's in a spot of bother, not the sort of thing that Jimmy would approve of. But their troubles are minor compared to Connie Smith. He won't be tuning up this Thursday.
We clipped the bank just up round the corner with the left wheel and seemed to have damaged something on the steering, but it didn't feel too bad until I came down here. I was flat in fourth gear and she just wouldn't turn into the corner, and that was it. There was no...
The car's wrecked, but what about yourself?
We're okay, just a sore neck, but we're okay.
And what about the co-driver?
He's okay, he just hurted his ankle, but it's only minor.
What sort of speed did it happen at?
Close to 100, had to be, you know, because we were flat in fourth gear. And that's
just no steering whatsoever?
No steering, it wouldn't just turn in, and that was it.
May have lost his car, but not his sense of humour.
Lift the back of the road. Damage it now.
With the first loop of the Inishow and Oil sponsored stage is complete, the Subaru Summit predictions are coming through.
I think there's 1 second between Kenny and I.
Who's in front?
Kenny.
Who's man here?
By 1 second.
I started wondering what the hell's going on.
A second's not a lot, Kenny.
No, I would say if we can hold a second it'll be alright, like, but tomorrow's the big day and the Kindrum fan at no stages, like this moment in time it's nothing really.
Stages are very quick, you know. That last one there is best part of a 4 mile straight, so we're just holding it 8-1, 8-2 and just flipping off, try and spare the car, because I think this sort of straight you just blow up an engine really.
James Cullen is only 22 seconds behind the leaders. There's still a long way to go.
70, turn square left.
Rory Kennedy roars out the descriptive notes on stage 4.
70.
And the attack is on again.
Right over crest. 100, easy left. 50 crest. 30, turn square left. And left. 100. Crest. 100. Right max, keep in. And left over crest. And very fast right. And slight left. And right over crest. 100 easy right. 100 left at shed.
It's frightening stuff. Austin McHale now looking much more at home in the Toyota, but he's having gearbox problems, and he just can't quite match the Subarus. James Cullen is highly impressed with the RED Cosworth, and he's beginning to realise its potential, but a big disappointment is nigh. That other Donegal top runner, James McDade, has had an expensive rebuild since the hills of Donegal. Ken Colbert lifts a wheel in his efforts to make up time. And here's Johnny Milner, the English Peugeot driver, who as expected is quick.
We're back on that main Cardona road for stage 5, so fasten your seatbelts for some ton-up motoring.
Right after lay-by.
Frankly, the top crews aren't amused by these motorway stages. They feel it puts unnecessary strain on both engines and cars.
And dip. And keep
The
right
cars
over
are
crest.
travelling flat in top gear for miles at a time, with only the rev limiter protecting them from a blow-up.
200 crest after sign.
Sadly, it proves too much for James Cullen's Cosworth. The 1991 winner will not reach the end of the stage. He's not the only one to suffer.
McKinstry still leads, but only just, as the two Subarus have been swapping times all day. Out of the 6 Inishowen stages, they will split the honours, with Bertie getting this one by 1 second. The Subaru's advantage is not just power, but their ability to mop up the bumps, as we see clearly in this slow motion footage. The Toyota is undoubtedly fast, but does not handle the bumps so well. And Frank Maher, even with the greater top speed in the Cosworth thanks to that high differential, can't match the all-round superiority of the Japanese supercars. No matter how he tries. Stephen Emerson is having a great day, and he lies in 5th place overall. John Price has moved up to 6th in the glorious sounding 6R4. And David Greer, with Michael Reed on the pace notes, is in 7th place. Alistair McRae now leads Group N by 58 seconds, ahead of Gabriel Snow, the Dungannon driver, who is making a big impression.
The Saturday stages are the more traditional Donegal fare. In the morning there's the classic Fanad Peninsula loop of Kindrum Lake, Fanad Head and Knockalla, both loved and feared by the drivers. For Bertie Fisher, the Fanad stage has been his downfall on 3 occasions, and Austin McHale does not have many happy memories of Knockalla. Tamney Village is a favourite spot on the Kindrum Lake stage, and as always the hordes gather to soak up the sunshine and the action. They'll not be disappointed.
Time is tight. Kenny has chosen a soft compound tyre, which will prove to be a mistake. Bertie is now on maximum attack. He will take 15 seconds out of McKinstry here to go into the lead. Former winner Austin McHale is going fine in the Toyota. And then it's Maher at 11 tenths. It's fun to watch, but it's very costly in time. Emerson in the ex-Bill Connolly car is mighty impressive. But he will drop places today. Price was only 1 second behind the Manta overnight. In fact, only 25 seconds separate 5th to 9th positions. 7th is David Greer. 8th, the Group N leader, Alistair McRae. And 9th place, Andrew Nesbitt, is back there due to road penalties. Gabriel Snow is 2nd in Group N, but sadly he will shortly hit troubles. Bob Fowden should be up there in Group N, but gearbox problems have slowed him to 4th in the group. And John McGaffin lies 5th in the category. Stephen Price lies 2nd only to Johnny Milner in Class 6. Following Connie Smith's demise, Brian Corey now has taken over the Mark II Escort Entertainment Club. PJ Gillespie was an early class leader, but rear suspension problems have intervened. And Donald Bones has a problem. The direction arrow has moved, confusing the Class 3 leader.
Bring the arrow for me.
But Ian Greer manages to leave Tamney in the right direction.
Now for that Fanad stage. McKinstry leads on the road. Fisher is leading the Shell unleaded Donegal International Rally. Fanad has been Fisher's bogey stage in the past, but he starts his dreaded test with a very positive attitude. It's an attitude that will pay off handsomely as he pinches another 11 seconds here. McHale is dropping time due to gearbox problems. He also has to keep an eye on the hard-trying Maher behind him. Johnny Milner is pedal to the metal in the Group A 205. Vincent Whelan has joined the ever-increasing number of clubmen who equip themselves with Metros. George Robinson is running surprisingly far down the field. And Tommy MacDonald comes scurrying over the hill in his Sunbeam as we move on to Knockalla.
The danger sign on Knockalla Beach isn't visible from the road, but drivers don't need to be reminded that ahead now lies one of the most awesome tests in European rally.
1, go. 100 long right. 150. Keep right. For long left. 70 crest and right. 150.
Coming up is the dangerous left-hander on the Winchester Bank sponsored stage.
150, open right and right.
It's safely negotiated.
150.
But now it's on up over the hill. And ahead are those fresh air bends.
And left. Keep right for left. 50. Long, easy right, keep in, and keep left over big crest. 50 right.
This stuff is not for the faint-hearted.
50, slide
Further
right.
down the Winchester Knockalla stage, the intense battle continues.
And easy right.
But the first Fannet loop has been a disaster for McKinstry. In 3 stages, he's gone from a 3-second lead to a 35-second deficit. It's an advantage he can't afford to give to somebody like Fisher. Bertie negotiates this chicane beautifully, but the next run over Knockalla, this little pile of tyres nearly spells disaster for the Tough Mac car.
And right. And left. 70 right.
The Subaru was launched onto 2 wheels, but fortunately landed on all 4. Back to the present. Austin is now 1 minute 22 seconds behind the leader. Frank Maher is a further minute down in 4th place. But the real battle is for 5th place. Andrew Nesbitt now leads a group of 4 cars who are only separated by 29 seconds. His pursuers are John Price, David Greer, and Stephen Sideways Emerson. Gabriel Snow kisses the tyres, but is still second in Group N. Whereas Garth McCartney, his pursuer, has dropped time due to power steering problems. And Johnny Milner, just look at this for the quick ray round the chicane. All with a little help from the handbrake. But for spectacle, it's hard to beat the old Escorts. Tony Green has the barbecue fully turned up. And George Robinson's Ford-engine Toyota is about to expire. Seamus O'Connell's having great fun in his G3 Escort and leading his class. But George Robinson's fun is over for the weekend.
The second time over Kintrum stage is no dummy run. Kenny has a new set of Dunlops. He must reduce the gap. So we're treated to some vintage rallying from the racers up front. McKinstry, it's not been a good morning, but for James Cullen, a year's preparation has gone down the drain.
It came so unexpectedly. The car was going perfect 1 minute, we were settling into it nicely, just bringing it on the pace, and what I wanted to do was settle in behind the leaders yesterday and get the feel of the car, and obviously the real rally as it turned out. The attack has all come this morning down in Fanad once again. A lot of businesses from home here have all come together to make this possible, to hire a proper Group A car, a real good car. The car was great up to that, but you know, there's the old saying, that's rally, and what can you do about it? It happened.
The Republic's Minister of Sport, Liam Aylward, was a welcomed guest among the crowds at the Milford service.
Yeah, I think it's the single biggest occasion of the year, and obviously that's important for the local economy and the local community as well.
Well, we're unique in Ireland that we can close public roads for rallying, which should give us a very big marketplace in the world to attract even larger events than this. Do you think there would be any future in the government looking into the possibility of this for future development?
Well, I think by my presence here, it might indicate that I would be looking at this favourably in the future. I also served as a member of a local authority myself for a long number of years in my own county, and I always insisted that we should make our roads available. I think we should work out some national plan, and it's something that I will be looking into for the future.
Austin McHale doesn't need a national plan right now, nor a medical plan. His co-driver, Dermot O'Gorman, explains.
Coming down Knockalla, there's a bad dip, which we have in the notes, of course, and but we seem to come into it a bit too quick. We're flat in six, I suppose 115, 180 miles an hour, and just caught the edge of the dip, and back of the car jumped out, and we went spinning down the road and took a few hedges over. And
you're smiling about it now. It can't have been funny at the time, huh?
It wasn't, no. It's fortunately we got away with it, but could have been a big one, you know. The car seems to be okay now, just an oil pump or something they're changing there in the front, so we're hoping it'll be okay.
There's no real mechanical damage, it's all sort of superficial.
Cosmetic,
yeah. How about the confidence?
Well, we know, I suppose it was our own mistake. We were just going a little bit too quick. You know, we knew the bump was there, and we just came a little bit too quick into it. And, we were happy to be going again. And it's a long rally yet.
The fright must be forgotten as it's back to the afternoon stages, which are in the Ramelton area. James Cullen gives the Minister for Sport a high-speed tour through the Saturday afternoon stages.
Fisher's on the attack again. By the end of this stage, the gap between first and second will be up to 45 seconds. For Kenny McKinstry, stage 13 is the beginning of the end of his hopes of winning the Donegal International Rally.
33 left, tightens into 4 right, maybe. Into 2 left. The 2 left and 3 left, 40. 2 left, maybe.
Kenny has been critical of his own driving today, and this mistake is uncharacteristic. The consequences of the mistake are catastrophic.
Crest into 1 right over crest, 60. Crest into 3 left via puncture. 1 left.
Further on, you can feel the vibrations and hear the broken rim on the road.
Right, 60. Left into 1 left. 80.
The situation is deteriorating all the time.
80.
But fortunately, that's the finish board.
Right.
But a lot of valuable time has gone.
150. Keep her at it. That's it. Sumo 1 to 2 over. Sumo 1 to 2, we have a puncture. Front left hand. Maybe strut and drive shaft over. How far can we drive on it, Kenny? Can we do 2 miles? Right. I think that's the wheel breaking up there now. Sumo 2, get up to us, over. Sumo 2, what's your location? Over.
There's considerable panic now. They've got to find that service crew. Relief beyond belief. That's them on the left. and immediately Sam McKinstry gets to work. The battle for fifth still rages, but Andrew Nesbitt has pulled nearly 1 minute clear of Bryce. John, a veteran of over 300 international rallies and who's recently clinched the Motoring News Championship for the 6th time, has Anne-Marie Smith aboard. He has a 13-second advantage over David Greer. And David in turn is only 5 seconds in front of Stephen Emerson. It's been an astonishing performance for the Belfast driver, who as always is enjoying every mile enormously. Alistair McRae's roll of success continues. He was second to brother Colin in Scotland last weekend. But Bob Fowden is now up to second in Group N, albeit some 3 minutes behind. Garth McCartney still maintains third in the showroom category. And Ken Colbert's progress has brought him into the top 10. 3 places ahead of the mighty Milner, who continues to do miracles in his 1600cc car. So Bertie Fisher was jumping for joy after day 2 with a 50-second advantage in the Subaru Summit. But it's far from over, and Kenny McKinstry still has high hopes for tomorrow.
The historic category has become an important and much enjoyed part of international rallying. Fun it's intended to be, and fun it most definitely is. The 1991 Historics champions Mervyn Johnson and Nigel Fraser were early retirements. Jackie Cochran and Kevin Flanagan had their obvious problems, leaving the overall battle to Drexel Gillespie and Maurice Beckett's airy Mark II Cortina, and Drew Wiley and Michael Orr's 1000cc Hillman Imp. Despite Wiley's heroic efforts, the superior power of the Lotus wins out. But the principle in historic rallying is not so much to win, but to compete.
The final day, and the pressure is now on the Tarmac team. With less than a minute's advantage, they must fly, as one puncture could change everything. McKinstry's plan is simple, flat out. But Austin McHale has to nurse his ailing Toyota. He must get home at sufficient speed to maintain third place. Alistair McRae must have decided that Group N victory is not enough. He's going for a higher overall place.
This is McClatchy country, or as we're about to find out, McClafferty country. Last year, Hugh's property suffered considerable damage, so I asked him if the repairs had been completed.
A couple of slight improvements, yeah, and hopefully we won't need any this year, because with them going the opposite way, I think things should be safe enough, but sure, with rallying, you never know.
I think everybody who saw the programme last year will remember the famous shot of the car going straight in through your garage doors, and I see those have been fixed since last year.
Fixed, yeah, we've got a new door on, we've got the wall rebuilt, and I think a lot of people are remembering for the fact that my name was got wrong.
It is Hugh McClafferty.
It's Hugh McClafferty, yeah. Right,
and Hugh, you'll be hoping this year that they're running the stage in the opposite direction, so do you reckon that's going to save the front wall this year?
Hopefully it will.
The rally leader approaches the McClafferty clan's property at high speed, but all is well. McKinstry never gives up as he tries to chase down the Tarmac car with 8 stages still to go. Sadly, this is the last time we see John Price. Again, he'll suffer a last-minute engine failure in Donegal.
Aboard the Caliber Subaru, more problems. He's hit that rock.
20.
And you've
Three
guessed
right,
it,
40.
it's another puncture.
Crest and 4 left. You've 4 miles to do. 1 right over, jump into 3 left.
Halfway there. And that screech behind was McHale.
2 left. 40, 4 right maybe.
Finally the end of the stage.
Sumo 1 to any, Sumo Mobile, over. We'll have a puncture. We want immediate assistance. We're coming down now, over. At the end of the stage, over. Can it drive another 2 miles? Okay, we've got to change it then.
Where have I seen this movie before? But it's more serious this time. Robbie's made a big mistake by calling in that service car.
As quickly as we can, Kenny, as quickly as we can.
When they get going again, we see the car coming up into a forbidden area. It'll cause them penalties.
Back in Letterkenny, the band plays for Bertie Fisher and the local man Rory Kennedy. It's all over bar the shouting as Bertie and Rory get a tumultuous reception as the winners of the 21st Shell Unleaded Donegal International Rally.
I've never really had proper competition with this car since I've sort of got used to driving it, because only having done 6 stages on the circuit, it didn't really give me the full feel for the car. So we really used Friday as a place. We didn't want to get too far behind Kenny, but once I got confidence with the car, then we really had an attack yesterday morning, and it has worked out very well.
Rory, how was it from the co-driver's seat?
Well,
good weekend?
Very good, first class, I must say, Gary. We, as Bertie explained there, we tried really hard on Saturday, and in particular to get through Fallon was a bit of a bogey area for us in the past, but this time we really showed our true form, you know, and I must say it took me all my life to read the notes as quickly as he was driving the car, so, you know, all due to Bertie, like he did a first class job, and like we're more than elated here at the moment.
But the big news at the end of the rally is that Kenny McKinstry's 10-minute penalty has been imposed, and he's relegated from 2nd to 6th.
That leaves Frank Marr at the top of the Dunlop table with Bertie Fisher up to 2nd. Kenny's harsh penalty has dropped him to 3rd.